Happy Valentine's Day. I'm here. Hopefully, early enough for us to chat before all the Valentine's Day shenanigans. Maybe. Oh, there it is. It's working. Woo! Glad it's working. Let me get this all set up so I can see everybody's chat. Or at least know if I'm just talking to myself. Because I wasn't sure about going live today. I don't know what you all do for Valentine's Day. I don't really do anything. Oh, hi, Tarot Goddess. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. How are you today? Happy Valentine's Day to you. Valentine's Day is a very interesting holiday. But really, most of the holidays are pretty interesting, especially those that have been established by the church. But we're not going to get into all that history. Thanks for being here. Hopefully, you're having a good day. I'm excited to be here. Finally. I know I was trying to get on earlier so that hopefully we didn't cross times with what everybody wanted to do today. But I had a headache. I was having a hard time today. But I'm here now and no headache. I'm good. So we are good to go. I'm going to start our little list. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you are good. So we got to talk about the vibration that we spun for last week, which was 595. But we also had that 525 that came up 2 or 3 times. So we'll have that. Yes, yay for no headache. Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad the timing worked for at least us. It worked for us. Because this timing worked fine for me too. But, so then, yeah, perfect timing. And then it is our hip hop day. So, of course, we need to talk about what's happening in hip hop, with the biggest thing being the baby Keem announcement and the documentary. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. What else do we need to put on this list? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. I think we can actually put 97 on this list because that's been coming up quite a bit, and it's been in the hip hop space where it's been coming up. So we can look at 97 a bit more today too. But let me know if you have any other hip hop topics that you'd like to put on this list. I think most of our time will be spent on Baby Keem and looking at the. We're not gonna watch the documentary because everybody's been watching the documentary. So I know I've watched it. I really like it, so I continue to watch it. But we'll pull out some of the vibrations from that documentary to talk about today. Okay. Oh, I know. I wanted to, and I can do that right now while it's just us. um, Before we really jump in, I wanted to, let me see if I still have it up. I wanted to show you something interesting. Oh yeah, here. So yesterday, when Flex came in, he talked about Chris Brown having his 11:11 album. And so, of course, because, I was curious, I went and looked. Here, let me see if I can make this bigger for you. Maybe, maybe not. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. But I went and I looked at Chris Brown's birth chart. And first of all, I did not know that Chris Brown was born on May 5th. So that's that 5-5 vibration that keeps coming up and we keep talking about. We talked about it yesterday too. So that was interesting. But then also, what I saw here is that right here, I don't know if you could see my mouse going around and around in circles right here. Hopefully you can. Right here is where Chris Brown has Chiron and Mars conjunct. So that means, like, this is the quintessential, like, wounded masculine energy because Mars is masculine and Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the wound. But these are both in the 11th house. So there's that 11-11 energy would be targeting right here for him, where it's working through the wounds of his masculine energy. And it's interesting that that is happening in the sign of Cancer, which is really the mother or the nurturing energy. So the wound is around the nurturing that either was or was not received, and created the wound. And now these are going together. I just think that was so interesting. I just thought that was so interesting. I wanted to share it with you. So before we jump in, there you go. Isn't that interesting? I thought it was interesting. All right, now I got to see if I could get us back to where we need to be, because I don't know what's happening on my screens. I got too many things happening on my screens now. Okay, let me see if I can find us again. Oh man, nope. I think I lost us more. Okay, hold on. I got it. Oh yeah, I got it. There we go. Okay, we're good now. I just thought that was really interesting. Um. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's hilarious as well. But it's fun to like observe and watch from afar, but not touch. It's like one of those things where it's like, ew, that's so gross. I can't look away, but I don't want to touch it. Yes, it is pretty funny. Okay, so let's jump in. Let's talk about our vibration from last week. And it's interesting that I didn't think about this yesterday, but we had that big number that Judy brought us that had all of those multiple, what was it, like 5, 45, 15. So it had these three different portals in it. So here's one portal, and then here's the second one. Whoop. And then here's the third one. So we talked about this yesterday, um, but I didn't remember that our vibration for the week is also a portal number. This 595. That if we add these up, then we get 19 and 10 and 1. So, for anybody that hasn't heard me say it before, we always spin our wheel to be able to get a number, a vibration to look out for as we move through the week. So then we can start trying to get used to seeing these vibrations and interacting with these vibrations and becoming more aware of how vibrations outside of us and from within us are impacting us and others, because we're trying to move into that awareness so that we can be more intentional with our energy and vibrational use and impact. And so this was our vibration from last week. But we also last week had that 525 that kept coming up, which is also a portal number. And this one gives us that 12 vibration of changing perspectives that keeps coming up. So that keeps coming up quite a bit also. But this 595, so when you ever you see a number or a vibration that has the same vibration on either end, this is what I call a portal number. And it's because these that are similar, these similar vibrations, so these fives here, want to be near each other. They'd prefer to be near each other because they're the same vibration. And so it creates this motion of like a whirlpool portal, where now this center vibration is coming forth from this portal. So it's making this vibration of 9 much more intensified. It's amplifying it because it's coming through this portal. And the fives that are creating this portal are like heavily supporting this 9 coming through and being amplified. It's like putting a spotlight on it. This portal is interesting. Same with this 525. That's why I wanted to have them both on here. Because when you have these fives creating this portal, now you have the amplification of this middle number twice. Because we have the 9 here, but then we also have the 9 here in 19. And this vibration of 19 is really about something needing to end or shift so that that energy can be used or go into whatever is trying to come in new. So 19 is an interesting vibration because it holds the beginning and the end in one vibration, where the beginning is new and it holds that one vibration, but then 9 is the end. And so it's the beginning and the end in one vibration together. So very interesting. Oh, hi, Rumpel. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. And we see something similar with the 12 here, where the 2 is what's coming through the portal, but then we have the 2 here. So this is highly emphasizing, this portal is highly emphasizing the need to have this end. We need to have this ending happen so then the new can begin and we can have um, all of this new energy that is supported and enhanced by this God, universe, higher power energy. So it's interesting that not only are these portal numbers coming up, but there's a lot of these portal numbers that are coming up with fives, where five is the vibration of change. And then 55 is the numeric vibration of the word karmic. So 55 is really the energy of karmic change. Like this change that is happening because of the cycling in of energy. So I think we're seeing a lot of energy that is coming through as karmic or reap what you sow, or like history repeats itself is really what it's feeling like. Like there's a lot of history is repeating itself so that we can try and get to this change that really needs to happen. But remembering that change is not a vibration that we're stuck with. Transformation, that 13 is the one where once we make that change, we can't come back from it. So, change as a 5 vibration really is something that waxes and wanes, and you can really use that vibration in like trial and error, like trying out this change or making little changes at a time to make a bigger change. Because if you make a misstep with change, it's easier to go back. Once it's a full transformation, you can't go back from it. Okay. And so then, as we are going through the topics and the vibrations today, we should look for more of these portal numbers, but especially these that have the fives in them. And we will spin our wheel at the end here to be able to get our next number. So I can put that on our list down here too. That then we need a new number vibration. Okay. All right. Let me get some water and catch up with the chat. And then I think we can just jump right into talking about Baby Keem. And I think 97 will come out and we can discuss that as part of that Baby Keem discussion. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're having your discussion. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, Rumple, are you still super sick? I hope you get better soon. Hopefully it's getting better, not worse. I think part of Rumple's multiple dying in the game last night was probably due to her being sick. Couldn't move as quickly. All right. So, where should we start? Wow, we've got so much. Oh no, Rumple. Yeah. I need to keep it short anyway so that cuz I was telling everybody when I first came in that I had a little bit of a headache earlier today. So I was nursing my headache, and I don't want it to come back. So, and I think it is like from too much screen time, but it's okay. Okay, so I know everybody is very excited. Well, maybe not everybody, but everybody I know, um, and myself are very excited because we had a Baby Keem announcement this week where let's put stuff down here so we can start getting these vibrations. So we had Baby Keem announce that he is going to have a new album coming out on February 20th, 2026. I don't know where to start because there's just so much to talk about with this. So, if I start going on a tangent one direction and you want to talk about something else, but not one direction, I don't want to talk about that. But anyway, if I start going on a tangent, just rein me back in. um, and we can talk about this. But Baby Keem's new album is going to be coming out, and it is called Casino. And of course, the S is a dollar sign. So that actually, if you don't count it as an S, it could change the vibration. So we may or may not look at that. I said I don't want to talk about One Direction. So I corrected it. So we will look at Baby Keem's vibrations, the vibration of the date, um, and the vibration of the album name. But before we look at that, I think we should talk a little bit about the way that he announced it was with this it was a called the Casino documentary. So he gave us this really cool video that was a documentary. It was home videos um to announce his album coming out. And the video title, it was a Booman 1 casino documentary. And that was really cool. So I want to talk about this a little bit. Um, so I know that just about every, no, every hip hop reaction channel at this point has watched this casino documentary and gone through and been able to look at it and had these connection points where they could relate. And so we are again coming into this conversation about authenticity and what that actually means. Um, and in this documentary, it was what was most interesting to me, of course, because I'm coming from it, looking at it from, I watched it first just to be able to take it in. I watched it again to be entertained and to actually listen very closely to what they were saying and to watch the imagery. And then the all the other times I watched it, I couldn't look at anything but the dates because it was so interesting how most of the documentary was a series of home videos, but only some of the videos had times and dates on there. And there was actually one um, video that only had a time on it. It didn't have the date and the time. And when I went back and I started looking at it, because, that was the part I was most interested in, there were portals being created. So we just talked about these portal vibrations, and there was actually portals being created within this documentary. The most obvious one is that at the very beginning, so at the in the beginning, um, the first date that we are given is August 3rd, 2002. And then the last date that we are given is also August 3rd, 2002. So the documentary begins and ends with that same vibration. So there's that first portal that we're seeing be created. So what that does is it amplifies the vibrations that are in between. So the story that's being told in between, all the vibrations that are in between are now being amplified. And so it is feeling like more of that vibration is coming through. So any of the pieces of the documentary where people were connecting with what they were seeing and what they were hearing, whether it was how their own story connected with the life story and the images that they were seeing, or if they were connecting with the music that was being played, or they were connecting with the people that were telling the story or part of the story, all of that would have been amplified and was being amplified because it was within this portal. So we just talked about these portals of 5, but if we look here, we have more portals here as well, where 2002 in itself is a portal year, where it's pushing forth this vibration of 0, which is God, universe, higher power energy. So now this portal and everything within it is amplified even more because it has this energy, this vibration of a higher power of God coming through to be able to push that even further through. Then if we do our little dates where we first add up the year, we add the month to it, and we add the day, we're getting 15/6. And so this is a 15/6 vibrational portal that is being created here. This 15/6 vibration. So 15 is this vibration of needing to make a choice between bondage or freedom? So, if we think about it in the context of the documentary that we were watching, and the vibrations that were coming through this portal here in the middle, um, this was really of this vibration of, are you you're making a choice of, you are going to feel like you are in bondage to, are you a victim of, or are you being freed by the circumstances from which you grew up and which you are in. So, is your past a pathway of victimhood and bondage, or is it a path that can ultimately open you up to the freedom of authenticity? Either way, whichever you choose, becomes your comfort zone, because it becomes this six. But because this is a five of change, it means that you can change your mind. You can change your mind. You can change your mind and go on a new route or path. I know you're listening. I'm not worried about it at all. The other thing that's interesting is that because we have these sixes on either end, so really we have this six portal here. We've had this vibration of 66 continuously come up as well, where 66 is that vibration of the word freedom. So while you're encountering these 15s and needing to make a choice between bondage and freedom, are you going to be in bondage, a victim, or are you going to be freed, in control of your destiny? We still have this amplified vibration of freedom because of this vibration that is on either end. 66 is also the numerical vibration of the word family. Yep, you got it, Judy. So we know that all of this imagery within this documentary was really about family and finding comfort in being raised by and being within this family through ups and downs, and the importance of family. So that was being amplified as well. Also, 66 is the numerical vibration of the word happy. So, thinking about the extremes that we were seeing within the imagery and within the story that was being told in the documentary, and how happy was actually being defined, was actually very interesting. So this is all happening on either end of this documentary, where the because these dates are coming up again this way, it's creating these portals. But I did notice also that This same date, August 3rd, 2002, actually came up multiple times in the middle as well. And so, just like we looked at, where, so if we had the 6 vibration at the beginning and we had the 6 vibration at the end, and then we had the 6 vibration here in the middle, 666 is actually a very powerful number. But now we have these multiple portals happening. So we have the big portal that we've talked about at the beginning and the end, that's driving all of those vibrations of the whole story and amplifying them. But then we also have where the vibrations here at this beginning half, we assume that this is like at a halfway point. It's actually in there more than just once here in the middle. But just to give you an example, now there's a second portal here, which means that all of the vibrations in this space are being amplified and being like have a spotlight both by the bigger portal and by this smaller portal. So now this is functioning as another amplification. So it's like a double, and if we have more of these, now it's a triple amplification. So just with those vibrations being placed, those dates being placed there to create these portals, it's amplifying the vibrations. So not only were those of us that were watching this documentary, and every time we watch this documentary, not only were we having the excitement of, oh, it's baby Keem, and what else is happening? Oh, and Kendrick Lamar is in there. Like, we had the excitement of who was in there and who it was from. But these portals were also amplifying the vibrations. So if you saw an image within the documentary that was connecting to you in your own experience, it was being amplified so much so that you would have more of an emotional and mental response. So it was like a bigger experience because of this amplification. Then the same thing would be happening on this side as well, where you would have now this third portal here between this middle part and the end. So again, any vibration that was happening in between here is now getting doubly amplified. So I thought that was really interesting in looking at which of the videos actually had dates and times and which did not. And there are some interesting patterns within the dates and times as well. I think I was trying to see if I wrote them all down. Not all of them. But you let me know if you want to look at any more of those dates that were in there. But I just thought it was really interesting about how these portals were being created, where then it seemed very intentional about which videos had dates and times and which ones didn't. There also was one video in there that only had a time, Um, and so it was like it didn't have a date, so it stood out of the timeline. It was like outside of the timeline, which was very interesting. And there also was one date that all had a message with it. So it was a special day. I thought that was interesting too. So there was one scene where it said a special day. And with the sophistication of the editing, um, this all was intentional. It had to have all been intentional. Like, there would be no reason to keep the dates and times on some and not on others. Um, but March 25th, and it just said '07. If we assume that it's 2007, that's fine. But what was seen on the screen was just '07. So this is the vibration that was actually being given off. And this was interesting because it had both the vibrations of the words and the vibrations of um, the date itself. So if we use our little, uh, you know, our key where A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26, then this phrase, a special day, um, equals 96, which again is that 15. So if we're just looking at the vibrations, here we have again where it's not just the date, but it's these words that are placed on one of the videos that is still giving us this vibration of 15 to 6. So again, creating this portal energy, this vibration. It was a lot. This date, if we do not use, we do not assume that it's 2007, we only use what's on the screen, um, then this gives us 35. If we assume that it's 2007, then it gives us 37. But this 35 is giving that 8. It's that return of energy, that reap what you sow energy. And then 96 plus our 35 is actually creating another portal with 131, which is another 5. So throughout this documentary, a lot of 5 energy. So change, but change that you can come back from. And a lot of 6 energy, which is comfort zones, all types of being comfortable. So comfortable, uncomfortable, all of that is under the vibration of 6. And that kind of brings us back to like the 650 that we were looking at yesterday, where here are these vibrations of 6 and 5, and it's looking like a progression, but they're really like working together. And to create all of these portals. So very interesting. Okay. I need to get some water. Wait, where is it? Oh, here we go. I need to get some water, and then we will look at. I wanted to look at Booman, and then we'll go look at Baby Keem's all his vibrations. Good. I I have to constantly remind myself to drink water. But when I'm live, I do much better drinking my water. Okay, let's look at so Boo Man is Baby Keem's nickname. And I just thought it was really interesting because one of Kendrick Lamar's nicknames is the Boogeyman, but the way that it's spelled, make sure I get, yeah. So Boo Man is within the vibration of Boogeyman. So when Kendrick Lamar is in that Boogeyman persona and then teams up with Baby Keem in Boo Man persona, now we again are creating like this portal energy where they're driven together and creating this portal vibration and pushing through vibrational energy. Thought that was interesting. If we do our little key where A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26, then I think we'll split this up. Boo is 32. Man is 28. So Boo Man is 60. Where here again, we have more of this 6 energy. And here, the 6 energy is being amplified by this God, universe, higher power energy. So, again, more of this 6 energy that's coming through. Now, we did have where he said this was the first one. So this really could be 60 plus the 1 to give us 61, which gives us the 7 of action. But even if we did that, we still have this 6 in here. It's just being amplified by the new energy. So I think that's interesting that this vibration of 6 which is very much about creating comfort zones, but also disrupting comfort zones. So, when a lot of the discussions about, oh, this album is coming out, to be able to step on J. Cole's album that just came out like the week before, it's disrupting comfort zones. And it's asking the questions, what are you comfortable with and why? But at the same time, it's creating comfort zones um, where people can become excited to be able to experience these vibrations in the form of song. I had to look because I think I saw a spider crawling. It was freaking me out a little bit. No, I don't see it. I think I was just seeing things. But it did freak me out a little bit. Okay. Um oh, let's just for shits and giggles. Don't say that, Rumpel. Don't I'm not gonna I'm not gonna run. Even though I kinda want to. This middle portion here of Boogeyman is 37. So um Boogeyman actually adds up to 97, which is 16 and 7. So we have another 6 here. Oh, cousin B. Thanks for being here. I know the spider is probably the boogeyman, but you know what? Cousin B is here. He could get the spider. I I don't I'm gonna tell myself that it wasn't a spider because I don't want to believe that there's a spider down there crawling while I'm sitting here trying to focus on vibrations. Don't. You're making it worse. Oh, I'm not gonna listen to you, Rumpel. You go mess me up. You go get in my head. Cause I keep looking. I'm trying not to look. So I think this actually is a good time to get some water, but we can have our discussion of this 97, which keeps coming up and showing itself. Because here it is. All right, let me get some water and try and ignore your chats to get me to run away. Oh, hi, Doc. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. I was looking for spiders. There's not a spider. Wait. There's not a spider. There's not a spider. It's not a spider. No, it's not. It's dust because I need to clean. that's what we're that's what we're telling ourselves right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, so we still are gonna talk more about um this baby Keem announcement and album that's coming up. Um, but yeah, let's talk about 97 real quick, just because it just came up. Do. Happy Valentine's Day! I'll say it again because there's people here that weren't here before. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you so much. Oh. Okay, so we have this 97 that keeps coming up. And it kept coming up so much that I made a little list of words. This is relevant today. You'll see why. Okay, so 97 keeps coming up, and 97 is this vibration that is telling this story of an action that needs to be taken, but it needs to be taken in vibrational flow. So you have to be in a state of awareness of the vibrations. See, you're still looking. Of the vibrations and making sure that this action is in the right timing, in the right way. That it's not something that is forced, but it is something that is authentic and flowing with the vibrations. It's like you're taking action, but you're reading the vibrational room at the same time. You're not trying to go against the grain or go against the river. And taking this action in this way is what brings on this end or this shift that is needing to happen. We saw in 2025 that all of this energy, oh wow, I put too many zeros in there, was very much about this shift. So shifting energy, so getting this energy out of one place, cleaning it up so it could be used as new energy as we moved into the new year. So this story has been told for at least a year, if not longer. 97 now is letting us know, hey, we need to take action. Now is the time to take action to continue this shifting and pushing the shifting forward. It's time to take action because this tower, so 16 is the energy of the tower in the tarot. The tower is a story of needing to recognize the position that you are in, needing to examine your comfort zones. What are you comfortable with and what are you not comfortable with? So that you can make changes and stand in authenticity. Because whatever these comfort zones are, when this new energy comes in, it's going to cause this tower to fall. Oh my gosh, I freaked out. I felt a breeze and I thought it was the spider. Um so it's not a spider. Okay. Not a spider. There's not a spider. So once these comfort zones have to be established, because these comfort zones, the things that we have been comfortable with and that we've found like acceptable and comfortable, are breaking down. It's coming out now that we should not be comfortable with these things. This new energy is now making it so this tower is preparing to fall. And so we are having to look at where are we in proximity to this tower? Are we still in the tower? And are there changes that we need to make to ourself, our perspective, and what we deem as comfortable or not comfortable. So we can get out of this tower before it falls. Or are we already out of the tower and we need to just be an observer of the fall of this tower? So we need to have some awareness of where we are standing in relation to this tower. When this tower falls, now that dictates what action we are having to take. We have to take. If you are within the tower when the tower falls, so if you do not want to recognize that things are changing very drastically and things that you were comfortable with, you cannot rely on anymore, or is no longer okay to be comfortable with it, then you will remain in the tower. And when it falls, the action you're having to take is to dig yourself out. But if you are outside of the tower and you are observing, and or you're able to get out of the tower to be able to observe when the tower falls, now the action that you are to take is to begin the cleanup and the rebuild. So the action that you take will be in vibrational flow based on where you are when this tower falls. We saw this number, this vibration of 97. Let's go over here. We saw it last week as because the phrase in between, where we were discussing how you have this vibrational exchange and things that you have to work on to shift and change your perspective and know who you are, that are within you, but also in between you and somebody else. What we are seeing is that we have this happening. Kind of similar to the love triangle that we looked at before, but a little bit different happening here. So this in between is looking at what are the vibrational connections between these 3 points. Also, we'll put over here on the side that 97 is also the numerical vibration of the word story. So as we tell the stories and what stories are being told at each of these points is going to be relevant. Also, 97 is the numeric vibration of civil war. So the warring within a community or a space or a country. And also 97 is the numerical vibration of the word control, where we see that as people are dealing with these vibrations of what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with, taking action or not taking action, a lot of the times it comes down to if they feel in control or not. Also, let's see, memories. So memories is 97 in the form of this energy that's coming back around, that history repeating itself, that karmic energy. And we are seeing 97 appear in hip hop the last couple of weeks, or really longer than that. But we have here, we'll pick this corner over here. This 97 can be Drake's life path number of 58 plus the life path number of hip hop of 39, which gives us the 97. So here at this corner, we have this relationship, this in between exchange of energy between Drake and hip hop itself. And when we add these life path numbers together, it is giving us the interaction between these dominant vibrations. So the vibrations that Drake is putting out into the world just from because of the moment he was born, the way that it's interacting with hip hop is also where hip hop is giving out this vibration of 39 because of the moment it was born, is invoking this energy of 97. We saw this become a problem for him because it kept bumping heads with this vibration of 79 because it was the mirror image. And this mirror image was the life path number of hip hop plus the life path number of Tupac. So where he was trying to reflect the image of the relationship of Tupac with hip hop, it was coming through as a mirror image as we would expect it to, because this vibration here is 97. So interesting. Oh, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So there's one corner of 97. One story being told, one relationship in between movement. But then over here, let's get a different color. What color? Okay, we'll do green. Over here, we actually have J. Cole's name. So his name is 45. His name isn't 45, but it vibrates at 45. And then his life path number is 52. So there's another 97. And we talked a lot about how J. Cole was having to face this energy, this coming back around of these vibrations, this history repeating itself, or having to face the past in order to walk forward into an authentic future. So both of these, this 97 is acting as their tower. But then we just saw that we also have part of this 97. We do have Kendrick Lamar. In the persona of the boogeyman, which equals 97. So we keep having this story come back around about these three artists and what are the different towers that they are conquering and what is their positioning of this tower that is being shaken. This tower is like the shifting of what we're feeling in hip hop. the shifting of hip hop into this new phase, this new place. And they all are connected through this 97. Through the interaction, the in between energy that they all are experiencing. And just like us, having to look at where are they in relation to this tower. Because the tower is going to fall. We know there are big enough changes that are happening in the hip hop space and the hip hop culture that structures that had been put in place are going to fall. They have to fall for this shift to happen. And so they each now are contributing to this bigger story. Because here we go. But this bigger story also includes this civil war that has been happening within the hip hop space. Whether it's between art and commercialization, culture and genre, artists between artists, coast between coast. We've always had in the hip hop space this civil war. It's kind of part of what hip hop is. But we also have had a lot of the story around this sense of control. Who's in control of the art form, of the culture, of the commercialization of the genre? And how are they wielding that control? So this is an interesting story that has been unfolding, but the pieces are beginning to be put together and come together. So I'm sure we will see more of this 97 in this hip hop space, but it really is alerting us to that. All right, this shift that is happening in hip hop, it's coming to a place where towers are going to begin to fall. Things that were seemingly steady are not going to be stable or a good foundation anymore. Which can be really exciting if you're in a position to be able to watch the fall and benefit from the new that gets built and the new that arises from it. So I think it's kind of exciting. But 97 definitely is letting us know that we need to pay attention to a different part of this shift that is happening. I think that's all. I think that's all I got for that. There's more, but there'll be more that's coming also. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and tell myself there's not a spider again. And see if you have anything in the chat. Hey. All right, let me go back and look at our list. All right. Oh, yeah. Not like I forgot, but it's always good to have a reminder. So we talked about 97. We talked about let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to look at this. We talked about already, for those of you that weren't here, about the casino documentary and how the use of dates within the video was creating this portal, which was amplifying the vibrations. And one of the main vibrations that was amplified was this 66, which is the vibration of the word freedom, the word family, and the word happy. So we looked at that part, but now let's look at what we usually look at, which is just what are the vibrations of the artist, of the date when this album will be released, and of the name of the album. So we can get some hints about what vibrations are probably going to be coming through. So, first of all, remind us of our little key where A equals 1 all the way to Z equaling 26. So for baby Keem, this is 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 25 plus 11 plus 5 plus 5 plus, let me bring this down, 13. So you know when I write it out like this, it's because there are vibrations that are standing out. And so the first one, as all of these fives, so there is a lot of vibration of change here. But then there also is a lot of this vibration of 2. And really, this 11 is 2 also. So a lot of vibrations around change, and the end of duality. So change that is ending where the divisions are. So bringing together where divisions would have been previously. Hi, Ron. Thanks for being here. It's good to see ya. 2 days in a row. I love it. So baby Keem, this adds up to 64, which is a 10-1, and we are in a 10-year with 2026. So there's a huge vibrational connection there, between just his name and this year in general, where this is very much an amplification of this new energy. So it makes sense that he would be coming through with some new music, some new art. I just realized that we don't have his birth date on here. So, because that's the album date. So let's move this up. So we have Baby Keem, which is 64, 10, 1. And then his birthday, I don't feel as bad like putting the years up for young people. But I also need to put the whole year up so you can see. So remember, I pointed out all of these 2s that were happening in his name. But then here's the amplification of those as well. So we have October, which is 10. So another 10 vibration. But then on the 22nd, in the year 2000, now we have this 222 vibration. And 222 is the numerical vibration of the phrase the opportunity. So we heard in the documentary that baby Keem was seen as an opportunity for the whole family to be able to come up and move out and do bigger and better things. It also is the numerical vibration of the phrase unconditional acceptance. And unconditional acceptance can only really be given when you're in a place of authenticity. So when you're your most authentic self, that's when you can only truly be accepted unconditionally. So when your positives and your negatives and, your good things you've done and your flaws and your mistakes are all laid out there, that's when you can reach unconditional acceptance. And we did see within that documentary where that was being laid out. So if we add this up, so we take the month plus the day plus the year, which is just 2, then we get 34, which is a 7. So the vibrations for baby Keem are very set on new energy, like constantly bringing in something new, opening people's eyes to something new, or doing things a new way, bringing in new behaviors, shifting things just a little bit to help people see the new, but also a lot of action. But this is that action in vibrational flow. So that means that the action that he is taking and he's meant to take is supposed to be in this vibrational flow where it'll be at the right time in the right way. Very intentional. This 7 is not a like impulsive, spontaneous energy. The other thing that shows me that really everything that he's doing is very intentional. When, of course, we know because he's being guided by Kendrick Lamar that this is going to be intentional. But it's also in his vibrational nature because of these 4s, which are all about stability and establishing a foundation before you can actually get to the action or actually bring through something new. So in both cases, both in the artist's name and in his life path number, he's having to start with really understanding what is at the foundation. What is at the foundation of who he is, his art, how he is representing himself and his art, and how he's stepping out into the world. So that means he's going to have to be pretty intentional. Because if he wasn't intentional, it would go against this 4 vibration. And then everybody would see it as inauthentic. And he would probably feel it that way as well. Having this stability then allows for um, to step into this 6 of the comfort, which we've been talking about, where this is an artist that would very much, once that foundation and stability is set, be able to create comfort zones where people would be comfortable with them at the same time that they disrupt comfort zones or ask people, why are you comfortable with this? Should you be comfortable with this? Are you really comfortable with this? And then it's that combination that is new, that would feel new, that would look new, because it's establishing stability and foundation at the same time as questioning the comfort zones that are being created. This same stability and foundation down here is able to be used for growth. Now, this can be in any direction, and it does start within him needing to be able to use the foundation, the stability of the foundation that is being built, his understanding of that foundation, to be able to grow. And he's growing into being able to take these actions that are in vibrational flow. When we add these together, so 64 plus 34, we get the vibration of 98. So very, very close to that 97. But this 98 takes us to a 17, 8. Now, 97, we just saw, takes us to the 16 of the tower that is falling. Once the tower falls, what is born out of the ashes of the tower is this 17. 17 is the vibration of the star in the tarot. So after the tower falls, a star is born. This is also the numeric vibration. 98 is the numeric vibration of the word trust. And what it's telling us is that there's trust there when you are able to lay out and be true to the energy that's coming back around, that reap what you sow energy. So you recognize that reap what you sow. So he would be very keen and clear about when it's this energy that's coming back around, when it's history repeating itself. He'd understand these cycles of this energy coming back around, of like, oh, this is reap what you sow. Probably sees it in other people sooner than they see it in themselves, but also being able to then guide that cycle to an end. So this 98 is actually extremely powerful in that any of, and this was talked about in, well, it was mentioned in the documentary as well, where any of this generational energy that's coming back around, good or bad. So if you think about it as generational curses, if you think about it as, this concept and these positive aspects of family, all of that is this 8. But he is walking in a space where he's able to end these cycles. these generational cycles. So generational curses can end here with him just because of the vibrations of the energy that he gives off, just from his life path number and his artist name. I think that's pretty interesting. We can also look really quickly at if we take just their names. Bye, Rumple. Thanks for being here. So if we take baby Keem's name of 64, and then we add it to Kendrick Lamar, just their names, of 120. Now we are getting 184, which when we add this up is giving us this 13. So the two of them together are able to bring through this energy, this vibration of transformation that begins with examining and pulling down these old foundations, these old ways of doing things, by recognizing the cycles that are repeating itself in the space and bringing something new into that space. By tearing down these foundations, ending these cycles with something new, that's where transformation can happen. And the two of them together are able to build a new foundation, a new way of doing things. And because these are both their artist names, this would be a new artistic foundation within hip hop, contributing to the shift through this transformation. So interesting. What's also interesting is that I'm noticing that the vibrations today are softer, which I keep leaning into to try and understand, because I know it's not because it's Valentine's Day. Well, maybe it is because it's Valentine's Day, but something about the energy today is much softer. Think about what that means. Okay. So we got this 64, and we could actually put a different color here. We'll put in parentheses the 98 because we might want to use both his life path number and his artist name when we're looking at this. But let's actually look at the album name first. So again, if we use our key, this would be 3 plus 1 plus 19 plus 9 plus 14 plus 15. Now, because he actually uses the $sign, we can do the calculation with and without this S. But I think it's always going to come through as an S, because even if you use the $sign, it's still read as casino. It's still read as an S. So let's look at this. So 3 plus 1 plus 19 plus 9 plus 14 plus 15 gives us 61. Oh, okay. I was like, where did I see this? And we already saw this 61. Well, this 61 goes to 7. We've seen a lot of these sixes, but we already saw 61 because Booman won, which was part of the title of the documentary, is also 61. But we also have here where we have that 7 of action, of taking that action and flow. So I'm trying to decide if we should look at. Let's look at the date first. And then I think all three of these together are going to give us our best interpretation of this energy. So, yeah, let's look at the date. First thing with this date is there are some very strong astrological events that are happening on this day. So, on February 20th, where am I going to put this? Open here. There's a Saturn Neptune conjunction. In Aries. And so this Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries, it is restructuring, because Saturn is the structure and Neptune is the illusion. So the opposite of the illusion would be the reality. So this Saturn Neptune conjunction is restructuring the illusion to be more realistic. And the illusion is the identity. So wherever there are identities that are not authentic, that are truly illusions, whether they're a artist identity or a group identity or a person identity, wherever that identity is not authentic, we will see that illusion dissolve. We'll start seeing people for who they really are, the true people, and their authenticity will shine through, whether good or bad. When we add up to get the vibration of this day, so this is 10, this is 20, and this is 2, this comes out to 32, which is a time of change. So this vibration is bringing forth this energy of ending division. So on this day, there's energy of ending the division at the same time that there's this energy of restructuring the illusion of the identity. So this division can be within a group, within an individual, and that's part of the restructuring of the identity. This will lead to growth. And again, this can be a growth in any direction. So if there's a dissolving of the illusion of identity and there's no authenticity there, then that growth can be downward projection. But if you're going in and you're seeing that, oh, the illusion is falling and there's still the same person there, there's still the same group, there's still the same identity, now that growth is getting bigger because that authenticity is the foundation of growing in that space. This is what's contributing to the big changes that are happening. So again, not happening just for no reason. Like to have this album be coming out after 5 years on a date that vibrates at a 5, when we have this Saturn Neptune conjunction, which only happens every like 36, 37 years. This is like a really big vibrational timing. And we see this with Kendrick Lamar's album drops and the things that he does also, which always has me thinking, like, I'm sure they have like a astrologist or numerologist or both on site, like, to talk to, because it just is not, it's not coincidental. But also, the universe or God knows how to place people in these particular places at particular times to make these things come together. So, vibrationally, these things are going to be coming together in this way for a very particular cosmic purpose. The other thing that is very interesting about this date is that 32 is the life path number of the United States. And the United States and hip hop are currently going through a Chiron return in Aries. So their identity and the wounds around identity are being opened and prepared for healing. So, very interesting. Also, if we, well, yeah, if we were to take, so we know we can get the individual vibrational day for somebody by taking the month and the day they were born. So baby Keem was born on October 22nd. So if we take October 22nd, which is 32, plus the vibration of this day, so 32 plus 32, gives us 64, which is the vibration of his artist name, Baby Keem. So there's a lot of vibrational connections here that are happening that cannot happen by coincidence. So there's something very big coming through this album, whether he knows it or not. Whether anybody knows it or not, there's some pretty big vibrations that are coming through. And yeah, could really make a huge impact on the shifting of hip hop, especially the shifting of hip hop from that place of power into that place of wisdom and legacy building. So, very interesting. A lot of sixes again. A lot. And when we were looking at the documentary, there was a lot of fives and sixes happening. So, a lot of change and a lot of challenging of comfort zones while building comfortable spaces. And then we see that continuing here when we're looking at the vibrations of this artist with the album. So this should be pretty interesting. I'm going to dig in more to these vibrations because it's a lot of layered vibrations that I don't think I can get into right now. But there is some very interesting things happening here, especially with portals. Like portals being created to yeah, there's a lot of these portals being created to amplify the vibrations. And a lot of it is how the art is being put together, but it's also very like it's from the universe creating these portals as well. And if we think about something like, we'll go sci-fi for a minute. If we think about like teleporting, like moving from one location to another, seemingly through air. What's actually happening is it's these multiple portals that are opening and closing together synchronistically and at different moments in time to be able to take you from one place to another. There's enough portals that are happening that that's what this feels like. It feels like a very big vibrational energy being moved into the space, seemingly like magic, but it's through all of these different portals. Yeah, it's pretty cool to look at. Hopefully, I will be able to get it straight in my brain so I can describe it better. And then yeah, we might have to switch next week and talk about this album when it comes out on Friday instead of waiting till Saturday. Or we can wait till Saturday. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we do. All right, how are you all doing? Thanks for sticking in there with me. This is a lot. We had a lot today. Are we ready for our to spin our wheel? Or does anybody have any questions or other things they want to talk about? I'm going to get some water. And once I'm done with my water, if I don't see anything to chat, we'll just spin our wheel and say happy Valentine's Day and call it a day. Okay. So let's spin our wheel just as a reminder, and for anybody that hasn't heard it before. We spin our random number wheel every week so that we can get a random number or vibration to be able to look out for throughout the week. By doing this, it gives us practice to start being more aware of the vibrations and the energy that are around us and that we're interacting with on a regular basis. So then we can start using that vibrational awareness for intention. And we can be intentional in how we're using our energy, how we are manifesting our reality, and how we are going about our own healing. All right, so let me get to our wheel. All right. Okay, here we go. Spin that wheel. I love this part. This part is fun. Hmm. Okay. 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 Heard. So, we are getting more of this message and um, vibrational story of 97. So, for anyone that wasn't here, we already looked at 97 today, and it keeps coming up. It's come up the last couple of weeks in lives and in some of our discussions. So, here it is again. But here, so when we're looking for this 975, this can't really be a time. So you would see it as 975. Um, but also you can look for the themes of this vibration. So some of the themes would be related to, oh, let me actually put this in here. So this adds up to 21 and 3. So one of the biggest themes is to look for growth, but remembering that growth can happen in any direction. So a downfall, a toppling tower per se, is considered growth. So whether it's something is getting bigger or smaller, moving forward or backward, in any direction, that movement would be considered growth. So growth is one of the big themes. Then we also have the theme of change, enhancing this story of 97, where 97 is the numerical vibration of the word story, but also of civil war, also of in between, also of memories, and it is the, when we add these up, we get the 16 of that tower falling. So it's the change that is happening that's contributing more to the tower of the story of the memories beginning to fall. Then it's allowing this new energy where we are in a year of a 1. So new energy coming in and helping us to end the divisions or the duality that we have around us. Oh, that's terrible. I'll rewrite it. I wasn't going to rewrite it. I was going to act like it wasn't terrible, but it really is terrible. We'll rewrite it. There we go. Not much better, but at least a little bit. So here's our vibration for the week. So keep an eye out for 97, 75, 975, and 3, possibly 21. But those are the numbers that you want to look out for, the vibrations you want to look out for. When you see them, or really any of like a angel number, a number that catches your eye, a vibration that catches your eye, you remember you want to document what you're thinking, what you're feeling, who are you talking to, who are you talking about, what is, any of those contextual details, because then that's going to help you to start getting the messaging that that vibration is trying to bring to you. And we'll talk about this next week. So we have a very exciting week coming up. I will be putting out a video probably tomorrow about all of the things that are happening astrologically and vibrationally as we get to this February 20th Saturn Neptune conjunction. There we have a lot going on. We have on the 17th this week, we have a new moon solar eclipse. So that's going to be pretty big and powerful as well. So I'll put a video out to help us guide us through all of that. And then I will be back live on Wednesday on Twitch. And then I'll be back here on YouTube live on Friday. Friday for sure. And then Saturday for sure. So have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for being here. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on your way out. I appreciate you and love you so very much. And I will see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend and Valentine's Day.